We're continuing on in the first round of the singles ultimate Schmoedown. Today on the docket, we have another one of the young and up-and-coming players, Rachel Silvestrini, who is going to be taking on one of the big heavy hitters and one of the favorites here in the ultimate Schmoedown, the Outlaw himself, John Rocha, the former two-time movie trivia Schmoedown champion. Who's going to come out on top today? Well, let's find out now on JTH Reacts to the movie trivia Schmoedown. Welcome back. And as you might have noticed in the little picture, no star nipples. Paul Preston, I always had a feeling that at some point somebody was going to bring that up, and how fitting that Paul Preston would be the one that would bring that up. If you didn't see the Facebook post where I showed my reaction to the thing, Paul Preston noticed that the old 6-star points were right there on the pecs, the manly pecs of Paul Preston, and he was more than happy to point it out. The answer is Paul Preston gets it. So with that being said, let's move on now. John Rocha and Rachel Silvestrini. A lot of people obviously are going in expecting John Rocha to win. He's a pretty heavy favorite here. But considering the fact that my perfect bracket that everyone knew was going to be perfect and never be ruined, got ruined. Thanks, Mr. Star Nipples Man, Paul Preston. So now that that's all done and with, you know what? What the hell? Might as well just have some fun. Let's root for Rachel Silvestrini to destroy everyone else's bracket, because that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants insanity and calamity and catastrophe and tragedy and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's not waste any more time. I guess we should get the headphones on. Otherwise, what am I going to be able to hear? Nothing. So without further ado, as I already said that, let's do this in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, we've been waiting for you.
Ken, Grace, so nice to see you. I'm just going to be going in. Okay.
No, enter.
I just wanted to
You shall not pass.
Quickly. I don't think I'm going to be able to get inside until you do, so
Correct.
Go for it.
Look, we don't think that it's fair that Dan Merle is using his challenge in Orlando with corruption.
Not fair!
Well, Dan won the free-for-all and thus the right to challenge anybody for a title shot of his choosing, thereby he is entitled to that title shot.
Okay, look, if he does this, I want a stipulation added that if we win, they have to break up.
Yes!
If corruption beats Founding Fathers in Orlando, then they're donezo.
Yes!
Well, you know what? You guys in corruption certainly like to keep things interesting, so...
Hello, random car.
Why not? Let's do it. If corruption beats Founding Fathers, then Dan Merle, John Rocha, they are no more. That's fine. Let's do that.
Yes!
Okay, thank you very
Yes!
much. Lovely doing business with you both. I'm just gonna go in now. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Emma.
Yes, you're so welcome.
Well played, Lioness. Well played.
Thank you.
So the question is, who would their new teammates be? Interesting. Oh, there's one of them right there. Would she be his new partner? Hello, Mark. Hello, Cart. That kind of rhymes. You are looking live from Collider Studios in Burbank, California. And I blew it away.
We are in the playoffs, and I am thrilled to be joined at the answer desk by the one, the only, you know her, you love her. Make some noise. Miss Clark Wolf is here.
Classy.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
Classy.
Oh, it was
Beep.
so fun calling matches with
because
you.
it's a family show now.
Terms with this matchup we have here today, we have a
Thinking about the kids, boys and girls,
Rachel Silvestrini,
which is what kids are,
I'm gonna say
boys and
he's
girls.
He is a planet in the solar system of the movie Trivia Schmoedown. He has his own
He's a
gravitational
planet,
pull. People
but
love
what
him.
planet
He's an
is
all-time
he?
legend. John, the Outlaw
Insert
Rocha
Bespin
is
joke
back,
here.
and he is in the Ultimate Schmoedown, and he has
Too
this new up-and-coming.
easy.
I don't know how Rachel's going to be. She's never been under pressure like this before. Do you think that could actually be a benefit to her?
I actually do, because ultimately Rachel has a ton to gain and very little to lose, frankly. I mean, look, when you're going up against somebody like Rocha, who has this storied history, he has proven to be one of the benchmarks and one of the strongest competitors in this league over a couple of years. You know,
Oh, got a ticker.
The pressure's almost off in a way.
Rocha's pretty good.
Get out there, kick some ass.
Really?
And we have seen that this game is so unpredictable. You can come out ready to fight.
Interesting.
But ultimately, it could not go your way, and then you have gigantic upsets, and there is no better place to do that than in the tournament.
And I think that it's really a question of how quickly can you get comfortable, can you get established, can you get those first couple questions answered.
And celebrate, boys and girls. The Pepsi in the Pepsi bottle has returned, as it should be.
And speaking of game players, I don't think we've ever seen a better competitor through the seasons, one of the first real stars in the Schmoedown, than that of John the Outlaw Rocha. We were lucky enough to get an interview with both Rachel and John before their match. Here's a quick look.
Here's Johnny.
Well,
that's not Johnny.
Which one? Because I want both. I'm sure we'll work something out. Yeah, any match they want to throw me, I'm in. So I got a call from Robert Meyer Burnett. Apparently he was impressed with my play against Paul Preston, but now I'm in the singles tournament, but I'm playing Rocha.
Well, what do you know? Back into another tournament in the first round. The Outlaw is here, taking on Rachel Silvestrini, the silver one, the Disney lover. It's exciting. She was a fan. I've seen her watch our matches, and now here she is going toe-to-toe with the Outlaw.
Rocha is definitely one of the players that I started watching when I first became a fan, and I have huge respect for him. But this is my time. I mean, Stacy kind of took Riley out, and now I'm against Rocha, so we'll see what this leads to.
And you got to just dust yourself off and keep going. Now I'm looking to the teams tournament, all right? Because this one really made me upset.
We're going to end this season champions, both singles and teams, and it starts right here. It starts right here today, and I know it. I can feel it.
But which one of it is going to be? It's going to be you or you. You or you. You or you.
Rocha, I respect you. I admire you, but it's my time to shine.
There are fans out there talking all their smack saying the Outlaw ain't got it anymore. He ain't got that fire.
He's an old man.
And it's back now. I want those belts back around my waist. I'm talking about the tag team belt and the singles belt. IG, Kalinowski, Cushing, Mara, I don't care who has it. Eventually, I'll go take it. Maybe my man will get in that ring and do it as well. We'll see. But I'm riding high. And I got two of the best right alongside with me. And I'm going to take care of business today. Get ready, Silver One.
Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. We be taking care of business. It's alright. Taking care of business and working overtime. Workout.
Well, that's the Outlaw for you, Clark. I mean, the Outlaw talking about how his spirit is going to win the day here, and it's hard to side against.
Love that song. Who doesn't love that song? If you don't love that song, you must be
That's great.
saying.
When you're a more seasoned competitor,
Which reminds me of Star Nipples. Satan, that's a character from Astro Boy who had stars on his pecs that shot lasers. Shot lasers out of his nipples. What did they come up with back in the 60s? Handalirium, I tell you.
We've got Rachel. Her strengths are Disney
brownies.
And her mom's brownies.
Yes.
They are delicious.
Never got to try one though when I was out there. What a shame.
For John Rocha, we have strengths that include westerns, biopics, and hosting Collider Sports.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Got a hand for the Outlaw Sports Show.
Yeah. Giving unneeded and unnecessary praise to Lamar Jackson. We don't need to give him praise yet.
This is breaking news to everybody. And we have some other breaking news, and that is, it's time for the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Oh, I didn't see that breaking news coming. Yay! I was totally unprepared. It's Ronda Rousey. Where is she? Armbar. Armbar.
Looking good, looking confident.
I just tapped out to the armbar.
Loving the shades.
Ow, that actually hurt. Don't hyperextend your arm, folks. It don't feel good. Especially when you're an old man like me.
Her opponents.
No more Beth Bend Death Den.
With a record of
Oh well.
12-8. 3 knockouts. He is.
Where are all the Western sound effects? Where's
Schmoedown champion of the world, John the Outlaw Rocha.
nothing speaks Westerns like Carolina. God, Carolina was terrible last night. What happened to them? Cam Newton stinks.
All right. He's holding up a 5, although there's only 3 of them there.
Yeah.
Confusing to some of our newer viewers.
That was 3. 3.
Well, a nice handshake, some nice
Tap out. Ding, ding, ding. Match over.
And
I'll see myself out. Dan, 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 dan.
I mean, Rocha comes out. Ben and Dan look like Rocha didn't pay them enough to be there. And now John Rocha.
He paid me $0.
John the Outlaw Rocha, before we get going, I'm going to read you and Rachel the rules of the match. And I want to get
What are the rules? It doesn't matter because you can't win.
You've won an exhibition match, John.
All that.
20 matches under your belt. In round number 1.
Am I the only one that misses all that?
To the field. These
Man.
questions are each worth 1 point, and they're from 8 different corners of the movie Trivia Schmoedown Galaxy. Each question, like I said, 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There's no stealing in round number 1. As soon as we ask you the question, you got about 15 seconds.
I miss all those
Your best
skits on
attempt at an answer
all that. I miss
Once we address you,
Vital
you
Information with
you
Lori
should
Beth
be running
Denberg.
to your camera.
I
At the
miss
same time, you verbally answer
Ashley.
Penmanship is always favorable. And you each have
And
3 uses
Good
of the
Burger.
JTH rule throughout the duration of the
And
match.
let's
If
see,
you
what else did they
get the
have?
question right, you need to buy yourself
Repair
a
man, 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 man.
Use the JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge to be used at any point throughout the 3-round match. So John Rocha.
Yes, sir.
12-8, 3 knockouts, 2-time former champion. How are you feeling going
Yeah.
into this?
Thank you, John Rocha. You helped me win something at the free-for-all this year. Thank you very much. Having, at the time, the most wins in the singles division.
Playoff format known as the Ultimate Schmoedown.
Good. It's an honor to face John. It is so hot in here, though. So
You're not wearing 3 layers, girl.
It is very hot, and that means let's get ready to Schmoedown.
Yay! Category of Action Adventure.
Oh, boy, I love a good playoff vibe. All right, kicking off round number 1. This question is from the world of action.
Boom. Point for me. I win.
And your query is...
I should get automatic win.
Xander Cage is the protagonist of 2 films in what action franchise?
Don't show this answer around the kids, boys and girls.
Making sure the pen works. Sometimes the marker doesn't always work.
Around the kids, boys and girls. That doesn't make any sense.
3,
Triple X.
1. Pens down, going to you first, Rocha.
Mortal Kombat?
That is incorrect. This
Jo- Johnny Cage. Xander Cage.
The crowd knew it. My favorite kind of movies, Triple X. Triple X.
It's Xander with an X.
Xander Cage.
With an X.
I've seen that movie once.
All right.
All right. Your
I'm
second
winning.
question in
Wow.
the category of famous actors and actresses.
Well, that will end here.
What Baz Luhrmann film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Carey Mulligan, and Joel Edgerton?
Joel Edgerton.
I'm gonna take a guess here,
What a
Rocha.
gift.
Is this a Triple X film?
It is not.
Is this
It is not yet anyway. But we'll see.
I think the Triple X, the third one, was called Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage.
Yes, I think
You
it
might be
was.
right.
4, 3,
I
2.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. What Baz Luhrmann film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Carey Mulligan, and Joel Edgerton?
And Clark, it's kind of the situation that you and I postulated up top, where you got to get that first correct answer to get the blood flowing to get back to normal.
You know how I feel about round 1. It's really important. It really matters.
5, 4,
Shit, I don't know
3,
this.
2,
Yeah,
1.
the Aviator.
Going to you first.
thank you for that. The Great Gatsby.
Oh.
It
That's
is the
it.
Great
She's on
Gatsby.
the board.
Rocha did not have
All right.
it, so Rachel takes an early.
Wow.
Can
I-
someone take a picture of that? Because I'm ahead of him, and I want to remember this.
Make a GIF. I'm ahead of Rocha. How did that happen?
Question in round number 1. It is dramas.
Oh dear.
Dramas and your question. Who played big game hunter Dennis Finch Hatton opposite Meryl Streep in 1985's Out of Africa? I'm glad that whatever the answer is, it's not Meryl Streep because the crowd would have been buzzing
about to
about
say.
hearing
Oh,
the
that
name.
it don't matter, Mark. Haven't you seen any crowd?
Boy, was she.
Oh,
5,
yes, queen.
4, 3, 2,
Nope.
1. Pens down. Going to you, John Rocha.
Robert Redford.
It is Bob Redford. Did Rachel have it?
Michael Douglas.
Ah.
Ghost in the Darkness.
Tie game.
Oh,
Tie game.
we're all tied.
Big Game Hunter
Yay!
before, but
Indeed.
not that movie.
All right, question number 4 in the category of 90s movies. Who directed Julia Roberts and Richard Gere in the 1999 rom-com Runaway Bride?
All right, Clark, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to give
Ready.
you a movie couple to hang out with
Okay.
for an evening. Are you taking Roberts and Gere? Are you taking Ryan and Hanks? Who do you like?
Ryan and Hanks.
Ryan and Hanks.
No
5,
contest.
4,
No question.
3, as long as the volcano's not involved.
Let's go with Betty Thomas.
1. Pens down, going to you, Rachel. What do you got?
Gary Marshall.
Oh.
It is Gary Marshall, the legend.
There we go.
Man.
And we got a tie game.
Tied game at 2. Your next question, your 5th one in this first round, from the world of fantasy.
And now I'm
and
losing.
Fiction.
Business as usual.
Here he is. Who plays Oz in Oz the Great and Powerful? I mean,
Oh, no.
how do you make a
See it?
sequel
No.
to the Wizard of
You don't.
How do you do
You shouldn't and you don't.
The
unless
answer's
it's
no.
unless it's return.
Return to Oz. 5, 4.
I believe it's James Frank.
Repeat the
Oh.
question.
I can do that. That is one JT rule for Rachel. Each competitor's used one. Your question. Who plays Oz in Oz the Great and Powerful?
I think it's right.
Gotta remember.
Because
there are a lot of.
I second guess myself, but I think this one's right.
Why try?
It's
I don't want.
it's like, did they not get it right the first time?
Yeah.
5,
I think.
Well, of course.
3, 2.
James Franco.
Pens down, going to you, Rocha.
James Franco?
It is, in fact, Mr. Franco.
That is
Rachel
right.
didn't have
Oh.
That is
it.
face.
So now the Outlaw takes the lead.
Okay.
3 to
I think
2.
I know who
Alright,
she was
so
thinking
definitely
of,
a movie by all
which
accounts.
is who I was thinking of for a
And
second
question number
there.
6 in the category of contest.
Ah,
Hey,
my game.
you got
Ah,
it.
that's a real joke. That's a real laugh.
Judd
Star
Apatow
nipples.
movie.
Ah.
Marriage is like a tense, unfunny version of Everybody Loves Raymond. Only it doesn't last 22 minutes. It lasts forever. It's a good line. I like that
Yeah, I
one.
was going to say cosign.
I also like that how much Apatow loves Everybody Loves Raymond. Because you know what? So do I.
It's a great show. It's a great
I
show.
like a Ray Romano.
5, 4, 3, 2.
40-year-old virgin.
Pens down. Going to you first, Rachel. Did you have it?
This is 40.
It is not. This is 40. Does Rocha have it?
Knocked up?
It is knocked
Oh.
up.
Oh.
All right.
It is knocked up. So one more for Rocha.
It is knocked up.
It is knocked up.
It is
Oh.
knocked
That
up.
is correct.
Trying to be like,
You tricked
You got
him.
I had that written on the bottom of it.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
So it is 4-2 now. We have 2 questions left in round number 1. Your penultimate question is from the world of horror/thriller.
Oh.
And the question, what iconic horror movie villain had a bride named Tiffany?
Speaking of marriage.
Speaking of, we just can't get away from marriage, or as a classic
Yeah,
movie, it's
bride in
marriage.
parentheses. Is that a
I hadn't seen that
giveaway?
movie, until like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
No.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Frankenstein?
Pens down, going to you, Rocha. What do you got?
I don't know, Candyman.
It is not Candyman. Does
Is it
Rachel have it?
Chucky?
It is.
Oh.
Wow.
You put bride in parentheses. I thought you were giving a context clue.
That's right. And
You tricked me.
from a crowd support
Drat.
standpoint, but both competitors getting a lot of
My
love
dick
on every
dastardly.
single
Drat.
Playing a great game.
Double
All right,
drat.
question number
And
8.
triple
In the
drat.
category of
At least I'll
anime,
get this one right.
You'll find the sinister Stromboli in what classic animated?
Didn't they ask this before?
I would never call a Stromboli sinister.
Okay.
Sal's by Maurice in Williamsburg, Virginia. It is good stuff. The Stromboli,
Love it.
packed with pepperoni. It's
Oh, no,
awesome.
no. That was
Ooh, I love a hot
they used the inverse question of it in round 2. Pinocchio.
Rachel, what do you got?
It's Pinocchio.
She started writing very quickly. Did John Rocha have it?
Pinocchio.
Oh, he got it too.
Notice I just flashed that. I don't want people to be laughing again at my horrible spelling of Pinocchio. I think I got 3. Oh dear.
You know what? All right, so we got
Me in last place.
This wheel has been a little
Hosting a reactor get dead last.
It has not.
Major bonus points if anybody knows where that quote's from. That's a very old racing arcade game. And it took me about 10 years to find out what that game was called. Wheel of Death, it's incredibly new. But still kill you like it always do. Wheel of Death, oh, the luck's insane. John has a belt he must reclaim.
So if you're not sure of the answer when you're asked a question, you may ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1 point. So, John Rocha, you find yourself...
Or you can use 50-50 to reduce the 4 options to 2 options for half a point. I'd do that.
You may defer to Miss Silvestrini.
No surprise to me. I know Rachel's good. Rachel, you spin first, please.
All right, so ladies first.
Definitely a choice.
And here comes Rachel.
All right, give it a good spin.
Yeah,
now we have...
this wheel can stop on a dime sometimes, Clark.
It's crazy, and we've got Disney movies on there, so I'm wondering what we're going to...
Comedy, classics, not opponents.
Oh boy.
I don't think so.
All right, you want to do classics or you want to spin again?
I didn't think so.
Good choice, all right. Ooh, but not giving it what for, like the last time.
Uh-oh.
All right, this could be...
Oh. Disney movies, I assume.
Okay.
And the crowd goes wild, so Rachel, these fun spinner's choice. Now you have the task of trying to
Disney?
select which category you're most confident in. What do you got?
Give me Kevin Smith, please.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
I had jumped the gun and already gone to Disney movies.
I would have done that too. I would have closed all the other ones out. Deleted everything.
Asking you your questions. So
What the hell's Kevin Smith? Deleted.
Momentarily.
Here we go. In Red State, the first on-screen victim of a radical fundamentalist church is a man who they say is guilty of what sin?
Vanity?
Let me go multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, adultery, B, performing abortions,
Oh, it just said sin, not deadly sin. Oh,
D,
crap.
drunkenness?
I believe it's homosexuality.
It is homosexuality. Let's give her 1 point.
Which is not a crime!
It sure isn't. It sure isn't.
Got real on that first question.
I mean, yeah. that was intense.
Don't join that church.
Question number 2 in the category of Kevin Smith. What is the first name of the 15-year-old girl who is writing a book about men's sex drives in Mallrats?
Oh, wow.
I'm guessing John doesn't know it.
Give me multiple.
All right. Is it A, Trisha, B, Linda, C, Julie, D, Mara?
They call her Trish the Dish. Nobody calls her that.
It is
Trisha.
It is Trisha.
It
yes,
is
correct.
Trisha.
Give her another point.
All right, so that's a point. She's using multiple choice a couple times, but she does know her Kevin Smith. 2 questions left.
Good strategy. All right, question number 3. What game is played on the roof of the convenience store?
Hockey.
Clerks?
Street hockey.
It is hockey. Let's
Yay!
get 2 points.
I remember something.
2 points, and so Rachel has a 3-point
Did Clerks.
John Rocha.
$28,000.
$28,000.
That's barely a movie.
Right, and here it is. Carrie Fisher plays a woman with what profession?
Oh, she's a nun.
Jay and Silent Bob strike back.
She is a nun.
She is a nun. 2 more points.
Very strange profession.
All right.
Like when you grow up and someone asks you, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a nun.
John Rocha, can the Outlaw answer?
Really?
He's done so many times in the past. He steps up to spin the new wheel for the very first time.
That darn wheel.
Just push him away,
That
or you give him a
wheel.
Hadouken.
That's a really good example
Go away.
of spinner's choice
Yeah.
being a tricky thing. It sounds like
Western's not even close.
You never know what's actually.
Other side of the wheel.
And he has spun comedy, and he's walking over to it.
That didn't take long.
Comedy multiple times, but he's spinning away from it.
He doesn't like the yucks.
All right, so whatever Rocha lands on, he is going to be stuck with, for lack of a better term.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
No. Come on.
Wow.
Come on.
That wheel.
That, Christian.
It's the spirit of Andre 2000.
So John Rocha might have some beef with this
Come
new
on
wheel,
now.
but it landed
That was
on...
unbelievable.
That was a weird,
That was, yeah.
weird event.
I think I should go to Weston's.
Western.
I think you should just go there.
No. Yeah, no. I challenge that. The wheels, the thing.
Okay,
jammed.
if you think there's an equipment malfunction, I can't give you what category you think it might have landed on, but I can allow you to have...
Can't let you pick a category.
I'm fine with respin.
Yeah, but I will, Rocha, John,
Yeah.
I will caution you.
Yeah.
If you do the respin,
Yeah.
you have to take whatever category that
That's
was,
fair.
regardless of what happens with the spinner.
That's tempting. Can I consult with my...
You may consult with your team.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
So cute, he needs
10 years
The
later.
matter is that
It could have been Western. I
was
think
just-
that's what he's really...
but
yeah.
either
The new
way,
wheel will be old wheel by the time this is done.
This is the relationship you build with the wheel.
And so far,
Would you spin
I
it?
hate
Someone
new
else?
wheel.
Opponent's choice is still out there. There's still some tough categories. So, John Rocha, the decision is in because
Much
we
to
had a
Clark's
slight
chagrin, I
equipment
discussed with my
malfunction.
teammates, and I'm going to take that 2,000.
Much to my
He's gonna
chagrin.
take the 2,000.
Yeah, I heard your oh boy, Clark.
Oh
People can
boy.
hear you when you're on a mic.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
You ready?
Oh boy, it is.
All right. I'll see if I can find 4 Westerns questions.
Yeah, please. In the
that came
2000s.
out in the 2000s.
Might be hard to find.
All right, John.
How many westerns came out in the 2000s? That'd be a great question.
First
29.
in the world of
Ding!
2000s.
2 points for me.
Great single Wall Street executive Jack Campbell, the man who wakes up on Christmas Day in an alternate reality where
Oh,
he has a girlfriend in The Family Man.
Nicholas Cage.
Yeah,
2
yeah.
points.
He was supposed to be Superman
Not
in
so
Kevin
bad
Smith's
of a
Superman.
No, are we?
She can't resist, can she?
It's
All right, next.
still early.
Which actor has a cameo as John Lennon in Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story?
Oh, I don't know. Multiple choice.
I can provide that. Is it A, Jack Black, B, Paul Rudd, C, Jason Schwartzman, or D, Justin Long?
It's not Alvin.
One of Jason
Um,
movies I found out.
I'll say C.
All right, gonna need an answer.
Jason
And
Schwartzman.
that is incorrect. Rachel,
Must be
you
Paul
get
Rudd
points
then.
again for,
Jack
1
Black
point.
don't seem like the John Lennon
Black,
type.
B, Paul Rudd, C, Jason Schwartzman, or D, Justin Long?
I think it's Justin Long.
It is actually Paul
Yeah.
Rudd.
It was one of those.
Are you from London?
It is Paul Rudd.
That's a different one, but still.
Oh,
You were close
I
to
just-
the
you
line.
tricked them now.
Very impressive.
Just
All right,
tricky,
so
tricky,
back to you.
tricky.
2
It tricky,
questions left in
tricky,
order to 2000.
tricky.
Your penultimate question in this round. In Almost Famous, who plays rock journalist Lester Bangs?
Yeah, that sounds like a rock journalist name.
Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
2 points.
There it is.
I was going to be real
All
disappointed
right.
if you missed
Yeah, I was
that
thinking
one.
the kid. I was thinking of the kid.
And the Outlaw has pulled to within 1
It's a close game.
of Rachel Silvestrini. Your last question, John.
Mm-hmm.
A film that swept us all up in a world of emotion when it was released in 2004.
Oh.
Who directed 2004's The Notebook?
Oh. Should I know this? I don't think I would know this.
Go to 5, 4, 3, 2.
Multiple choice.
I can provide that. Is it A, Scott Hicks, B, George C. Wolfe, C, Adam Shankman, or D, Nick Cassavetes?
D.
Nick Cassavetes.
Yeah.
Give him a point.
That name sounded familiar once it was said.
Oh,
Going
man.
into round 3. I love
I was
the
like,
question about
Nick
the
Cat.
notebook
As soon as he said Nick Cassavetes, I was like, that
Now,
name sounded
that
familiar.
is a tied ball game as we head into the last round. Clark,
Oh.
we could be staring right down
Toast.
the middle of overtime.
Look, this is
Yeah.
this is
That was a great
it's already
toast.
hot in here, but now it's like hot in her, if you know what I'm saying.
Rachel, John, you both are wearing jackets. Are you guys doing okay?
Yeah,
we're fine.
Because round number 3 is upon us, and like Clark inferred, it is getting quite temperate. In round number 3, each competitor is going to give us a series of numbers. These numbers can range from 1 to 20. We need 3 numbers.
Pick
from
2.
each person
Pick
on
2.
the
Unless you're
number
Lon
represents a
Harris,
different corner of the movie
Janine,
Schmoedown knowledge. The first
Whitney,
question here is gonna be worth 2
and
points. The next one's worth 3 points.
other
The
people that
last
didn't
one's
get
gonna get that
a
far.
win
It's worth
when they pick
5
2.
big points.
Other than that, pick 2
Steal
and you
round
win.
three. There's no penalty for missing a question. What's between you, your eyes, and the thing right behind your eyes? John Rocha.
Thing right behind my
You
eyes?
are the higher ranked competitor.
I can't see behind my eyes.
Quite a storied history in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Some might say the greatest history of all time. But now we just need 3 numbers from you.
6, 8, and 10.
Very quick. Didn't even think about it.
16. Did you say 7?
No.
7 and 9.
16,
Knocked all those middle numbers.
Solid
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Solid
Yeah,
numbers.
wipe them all out.
All right, so Rachel, you're gonna get your
Oh,
question
wiped
first.
out.
Or at least you're gonna get your 2-point question. We'll see how we do from there. Clark Wolf's gonna be asking you your questions. I'll be asking John the Outlaw Rocha his questions.
Okay. You chose number 16. That is the category of comedy.
Ha!
Oh,
That's
you
like a
milk it
golf
for
clap,
all
ha.
3.
I
Wow.
like it. It's fun.
Just one.
All right. And your question is for 2 points. Jake and Elwood are on a mission from
The
God
Blues
in
Brothers.
what 1980s comedy?
The Blues Brothers.
That is correct.
I think I would know that. I submitted the Blues Brothers question at the Chicago Live
Yeah,
event.
you were coasting off that comedy
I
last
sure
week,
was.
huh?
I was excited.
All right, so
Donald Duck Dunn, Lily Two Big Hall, and Tom Bones Malone. Murph and the Magic Tones. Look at you, those candy-ass monkey suits.
Director named Steven Spielberg.
Spielbargo? Who?
And your question. Steven Spielberg directed Haley Joel Osment.
AI, artificial intelligence.
2001 sci-fi film.
AI.
2 points for John Rocha.
I think he should give the whole title AI, artificial intelligence.
Goes back and
I am a dumb robot named Data from Star Trek. I love you, but you're just a machine. Boo hoo, boo hoo hoo hoo.
That's a quote from Van Halen. Thank you, John Rocha.
All right. Rachel, you chose number 7, and the category is My Girl, Sandy B. Sandra Bullock. And your
Tried to act
question
tough
is,
until she got killed by Angelina Jolie.
country music
Celebrity
star
deathmatch.
plays Sandra Bullock's husband in
Tim McGraw?
Blind Side.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
That is correct. Good job.
Yes, I will watch movies that are revolve around former Baltimore Raven players.
Saving a little sideways.
What a
in that
shame.
movie. All right. John Rocha, back to you. Get to answer your 3-pointer now. It's kind of fun how we ask one person a question and we go to the other person.
It's just
Like
balanced.
tennis match.
Like that's fun for you guys.
Very good. John Rocha, number 8 for your 3-point question.
Who can stand that when watching tennis?
And that
How? How do you do it?
to the World Fantasy Star.
Uh,
There's the Rocha side we've been waiting
You
for.
just answered a sci-fi question.
For 3 points, and to tie Rachel, your question. In the film Aquaman, Arthur and Mera are ambushed in Sicily when a fully armored David reemerges and is now known as
Black Manta.
Black Manta?
3 points for John.
That would be the 1-pointer in Inner Geekdom.
Just the way we drew it up, Clark.
Woo!
We rain in threes.
Right,
Swish.
so Rachel, you're going to hear your 5
Curry.
questions as asked by Miss Wolf.
Kobe.
If you get it right, you're going to force the hand of John. If
LeBron.
you remain tied,
Doink.
John
Oh.
Rocha will have 5 points
The brick.
to win outright.
The brick strikes again.
Honor's all mine.
Yes, absolutely.
Honor's all mine. I love you, Rachel.
Great match.
Really having fun with this
All right,
match.
Rachel,
But let's destroy some brackets. Every last bracket. Come on, Rachel.
You chose number 9, which corresponds to rom-coms.
Oh dear.
No, well, I did last time. Okay.
Take it away, Rachel. I've got nothing.
Okay. In The Devil Wears Prada, what is the name
Because God wears Gucci.
where Meryl Streep is the editor-in-chief?
Let's think of a devil pun name, shall we? Although that's probably too easy.
5, 4, 3.
Can I get
What's a good heaven?
We can give you
Yes.
a JTH
Heaven
question
sent,
coming up.
glory
In The
days.
Devil Wears Prada, what is the name of the magazine where Meryl Streep is the editor-in-chief?
So heavenly. Heavenly divine. It's divine.
One JT remains 5.
Screw it. Heaven sent. Heaven sent because the devil.
One more repeat.
The devil.
In The Devil Wears Prada, what is the name of the magazine where Meryl Streep is the editor-in-chief?
I don't think this is right. Composure?
That is incorrect.
That's 13 going on 30.
Yes, the answer is Runway.
Of course
Runway.
it is. Of course it is.
Runway.
You could feel the
That's
crowd
so
ready to
devilish.
explode if you had gotten that answer
Runway.
correctly. So now it all comes down to this. Just your garden variety ultimate Schmoedown matchup where John Rocha has to hit a 5-pointer to advance. Nothing special, nothing to see here today.
And if he doesn't, we're going to be going into sudden death.
Take a big swig.
If I say Paul Rudd, we're not even having this conversation.
All right. John Rocha. 5-point question. You selected number 10, and that corresponds to the category of modern classics.
That's a little vague.
And your 5-point question is, what famous musician plays Kiefer, one of the German nihilists in The Big Lebowski?
Oh, it's
Flea.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Yep.
your winner, John, the Outlaw.
I couldn't picture his name there for a second. I was like, the dude that's always in underwear, or naked, or that tube sock just ain't gonna cut it.
This felt like a 5-rounder to me.
This was intense from start to finish.
And it was such a great match. You had a lot of great sportsmanship up on there, and I loved maybe my favorite part of the match. Rachel saying to John before the 5-point questions were asked, this has been a lot of fun, and it was a great time that we had up here at the answer desk as well. Hope everybody out there enjoyed it. John Rocha moves on, but I think Rachel Silvestrini proved a lot here today.
Oh my gosh! You know, this was a match where it truly it was a show for Rachel, saying, "Look, I'm here. I am to be taken seriously in this league." You know, sometimes just because you don't necessarily pull out the win, it doesn't mean that it's not for nothing. I hope that this going forward for Rachel is a real boost to her confidence.
That's right. Sometimes you can find a lot of winning behavior in a loss. I think that's what we saw out of her today. And for John Rocha, look,
As opposed to loser behavior. Oh, we're going back into the days of yore.
Some misses in his career. He's learned. He's bounced back from his mistakes, and he knows how to be clutch. And he put that on display. So I think what he did by doing that is putting the rest of the league on notice that the ultimate.
No, Paul Preston does that.
Is coming for that belt.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, Rocha didn't get.
This is notice.
No.
This is the league.
Maybe if round one
This is the league on notice.
Strongly in his direction as maybe he would have wanted.
Star nipples. Yeah. That ain't ever gonna go away. What have you done, Paul? Paul, you terrible, terrible man.
Right now, our own Jen Sturger is joined by one of the new stars of the league, Rachel Silvestrini, triumphant in defeat. Jen, it's all yours.
Rachel, I think I can safely say that even though you lost, that was your coming out party right there. Thanks, guys. I'm really proud of myself. I went toe-to-toe with the 2-time champ and made him answer all of his all of his third round. We went to the 5th 5-pointer. It's unbelievable. I'm speechless right now.
She's very giddy and nervous.
Evan Smith, to say that you spun one of your strengths, or you chose one of your strengths, and it still was pretty difficult for you. It just shows you that the level of difficulty that these questions are coming up with is just getting deeper and deeper the further we get in this league. So, were you
Thanks,
disappointed at
Stolitsky.
all with how difficult your second-round questions were?
No, because it's a challenge and it makes me pay attention even more. So thanks, Chris. But no, I love the fact that we're continually stepping up the level of play. Like, this season has taught me nothing more than you have to study, you have to know your stuff, and even things that you think you know, you might have to go multiple choice on. So I'm definitely okay with the way that it all played out.
Being a fan favorite, the crowd and the people at home are probably disappointed to not see you go further in the tournament.
So
What do you have to say to
sad.
them at home, though, about your amazing season?
It's not over. We might still play with teams, but Thank you so much for all of the support. It's been an amazing year, and next year, who knows what's going to happen? Might get some gold.
Maybe.
Rachel Silvestrini,
Maybe.
guys, back to you.
All right, very heartwarming stuff there from Rachel Silvestrini. We know her mom is out there watching too, so hi to Silvestrini.
Yeah.
And
Send me brownies.
Jen had the perfect question.
Please.
What does this season mean to you?
I want to
Pointed out
try
the season going into
Miss
it, it certainly
Mama
has been
Silvestrini's famous
Absolutely.
brownies.
Again, I can't stress it enough. Like, if that's how you're going to go out, that's a hell of a way to go out.
Mm-hmm. And now we're going to be joined by Jen Sturcher, who's in the middle of a dude sandwich. Jen, who are the guys?
It's a dude sandwich. I'm not sure which one of us is the beef, but whatever.
Me, probably.
Oh.
The largest piece of meat here. Yeah, let's do it. Wait, I didn't.
I'm not touching that. Nope, nope, nope.
Shame.
Moving on. Oh my God. Please don't edit that out. Oh my God.
Well, you got
Mr.
your
Rocha,
wish.
It is always a pleasure to watch you play. But why do you always take it down to the last question? Do you just enjoy watching this room sweat more than we already are today?
I don't. It was a tough match. Rachel is fantastic. It was an honor to play her. I've known Rachel for a bit now. Being a fan of hers as a person, I've always loved her. Being a fan, she's helped me out in a number of matches, and so to play her was my honor and so much fun. And this isn't the last you're seeing of Silvestrini. The Silver One will be back, and this is the game now. These people watch. These fans now jump over into the top roster, and this is the kind of level of play they're bringing. I'm fortunate, as an old dog, to still be doing against the young ones coming out here. So it was my honor to play her, and I feel damn good that I beat her because it was toe-to-toe all the way to the end.
Let's be clear, though. These kids may have the knowledge and the time to be
Except
studying
me.
these movies, but you're still one of the OGs.
True. Well, thanks so much for that. And it's always great talking to you after a win rather than a loss. So
yeah, you're much happier. All
not
of a sudden.
pissed off.
What does this win mean to the Horsemen?
I think
And
it's great for us.
angry.
I think we need this. We need to go forward. We need to have belts around our waist. You know, everyone wants to bury us all the time in the Facebook groups, on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. The new flavor of the month, the greatest faction ever. We are the greats. We have always been the greats, and we prove it every single time. Me winning
It's
this
still fun to do the barrel
shot
dance.
at that singles title, to hold it for a third time, to hold the third version of the belt would mean everything to me and put my name back in people's mouths and in a conversation about the greatest of all time.
One of the moments that I think that people at home did not get to witness is that when you went to go answer your last question, I happened to look over at Dan, and when you said your answer, you just see him light up and go. And I was like, well, I guess he got it. Thanks for the spoilers, Dan.
Sorry. I've come on. I'm. This is my teammate. This is my partner. This is my opponent. This is everything you could be in this game. John and I have been. So of course, I mean, I was rooting like hell for him over there, and mentally willing him. I was mentally sending a picture of Flea into John's brain. And no, I love this guy. I love playing with him, and I love being in his corner. And it's a lot of fun. And I love having Ben over there with me too. We had a good time watching John, and I love having him in the group.
The enthusiasm that you two have for each other is just palpable. Like, you guys have been such good teammates, and now bringing Ben into the fold. Like, what does this all mean for you guys? Like I said, coming from, you've had some tough losses as of late. So what does this win do for you as a faction?
Well, you know, Jen, I think when you join a faction, you really think about the long game. You don't think about the short game. I'm not interested in corruption. I don't care about the dungeon. This is a team of greats, and I knew that I was getting in for the long game, and it's all going to bear out in the end. You know, the averages will favor us because we have the best players in the game. And so, you know, they say when a prize fighter, you know, maybe they lose their power, but they gain a little more of strategy. I don't know if this guy's lost his power, but I know he's got all the strategy in the world. And he took care of business today. He went long. He didn't knock her out. Didn't matter. We knew he was going to get there. We were proud of him for getting there. And he's going to keep going in this thing. So I'm proud of standing next to him. I'm excited for my first shot in the tournament, and one of us is going to have it. In the end of this thing, one of us is going to have it. I know it.
Speaking of corruption, in the next rounds, you will face either Janine or Mike Kalinowski.
Look, I think facing Janine is another one of these Silvestrini situations. Janine's another one that went from fan to competitor, and Janine has made her name. Janine Debine, Janine the Machine, she is no joke, and she is so knowledgeable. She will give me everything I can handle, and I only hope I could do the same for her if I face her. But that being said, Jen, Kalinowski, I hope you're watching, Chico.
Okay, Razor.
Right? Flash? Ah! It's you and me, Chico. That's what I'm talking about. You've been running your mouth. You've been running your mouth, playing one side of the fence and the other side of the fence. Mr. Nice Guy, but you got that ugly fire under, and I know it. I remember A young outlaw in 2016 who felt the same way, had that same drive, that same desire. We've been friends for 20 years. We've been hanging and banging for 2 decades. Well, now it's you and me in the ring if you take care of business. And it'd be my great honor to face you, my friend, but also as a competitor, the Outlaw versus KO Kalinowski. And this time, Chico, I'm not saying the wrong name to give you a victory like Smets. I'm not letting you get away with a perfect round again. I'm going to take care of business and take you out. Because Mikey No Belts sounds so much better to me.
I can't top that. I'm out.
Well, what more can I say? Just hanging and banging backstage with the biggest piece of meat in this entire tournament. Back to the desk.
All right, Clark Wolf.
Wow. That was something. Thanks, Jan.
Well, because the first half of the interview, we were talking to John Rocha, and then the second half, the Outlaw emerged, and that's who we're left with now. Janine,
Yay.
Kalinowski, either way, we're
Oh, we got a ticker.
Boop, boop, boop. I still can't get past
Meat, beef, steak, ribs, ham, pork, meat, beef, burger. Meat. Yeah, I agree with that.
Janine could easily take it to the end, just like we saw Rachel. Janine is not a competitor to sneeze at, so I think it's great that he's taking it seriously. And as far as Kalinowski goes, look, he may be on a streak right now, but it's just who can say? We've seen inconsistencies from both parties, so it'll be interesting to see how this one shakes out.
What has been consistent thus far is that we are just in round 1 of the Ultimate Schmoedown.
What's always been consistent? I stink.
Round 2 matches here as we continue in the movie trivia Schmoedown playoff format, the Ultimate Schmoedown.
This is the Ultimate Schmoedown.
Panic, available right now.
Good guys, bad guys in trivia.
Go to Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon, check out
but only one will survive.
Join us on podcast wherever you listen.
This is the Ultimate Schmoedown.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right, let's run everybody off. Thank you to Mark and Clark, still kind of rhymes, Jen and John and Dan and Ben and Rachel and Emma and Grace and Ken, and I think that covered everybody. I think we got everybody down pat. So let's take these off and let's discuss this match, because this match I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. I think a lot of people were probably expecting a TKO victory for one Outlaw, and Mr. Outlaw had to sweat it out there. He did get a little bit of bad luck in round 2. I will say that that wheel it's already getting on some people's bad sides, but that was a lot of fun. Would have been nice to see the big glamorous upset there and see everybody rip up what's left of the here's the rest of my bracket. Yay, it's a million shredded pieces, and it'll probably stay there for a while. John Rocha moves on, going to play either Janine or Mike. Obviously going to be a good match regardless of who comes out on top. The Janine Rocha match would be interesting because if people remember in the Manager Bowl or Commissioner Bowl, whatever that was at the Collision, Janine actually outlasted Rocha, which is something that I think might have surprised some people. So if that match was to happen, I would be tempted to say that Janine could probably win that match. But obviously, I think a lot of people are wanting John and Mike to play. Me personally, I really don't have any preference of who John ends up playing. I know we're going to get a great match. I like the history of what could transpire between either opponent that ends up playing Rocha. So yeah. So I guess tomorrow we will have the live streamed event. We're going to have another first round match. It's going to be Bibiani versus Chance Ellison, and we're going to have the Wild Berries Late to the Party match. Now that team match is a little bit interesting because we already know the Wild Berries are in the Ultimate Team tournament. I'm not really sure what the match is ultimately going to do. Is it going to affect seeding? I don't really know because we already know the Wild Berries are playing the family. That was announced a while back. So regardless of win or loss, that match is set in stone. I'm still not sure if Late to the Party is playing in that tournament or not. So a win in that match could probably be pretty important. Uh, Beating the Wildberries. I know Wildberries are the Wildberries, and they don't win much. I think they're 2-4 if I remember correctly. So it's not going to look like the greatest win of all time, but a win could be very, very vital with Late to the Party moving forward. Could potentially get them in that tournament, unless of course it's already been completely played out. Then disregard everything I just said. So yeah, looking forward to how the rest of this tournament's going to go, and the rest of how the team tournament is going to go. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Always watch their content first. It is the right thing to do. Follow me on social media at WWEJTH1 and follow all the official Movie Trivia Schmoedown content. Facebook page, Twitter page at the Schmoedown. Unfortunately, we got the unfortunate news with the official trivia Schmoedown website is going to be taken down with the events of some things that have happened, which ultimately will be for the greater good, but unfortunately some sacrifices had to be made. So check out that website while you still can. It has a lot of great content on it. It allows you to go back and watch all the great archived matches in Schmoedown's history. So try to get onto that website while you can, while it's still there. There's a lot of great content on there, and make sure that those writers make sure that their content was well worth it for the fans, because it was a lot of fun for the time that it lasted. But unfortunately, as I said, sacrifices need to be made. And of course, become a patron if you can. It goes a long way. So I guess that will do it for this edition. I will see you next time. So this is JTH. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I bid you adieu.